So today you looked at all sorts of cube patterns, and the purpose was for you to be able to see the pattern well enough that you could write an algebraic expression for the nth figure. So we looked at patterns like this first figure has 1 cube, the second figure has 2 cubes with 1 extra on the side, the third figure has 3 cubes with 2 extra on the side, and then you built the fourth figure which had 4 cubes in the tower and 3 on the side. And then we looked for a pattern. And what could you generalize about the 10th figure? And you guys said, well, the 10th figure would have a cube of 10 and 9 on the side. And then we eventually generalized to the nth figure. The nth figure would have a tower n cubes tall, and on the right side it would be n minus 1. And then we checked that with all the patterns, and it was correct. Here's the second pattern, and you notice that there was in the first figure 1 in the center and none around it. The second figure had 2 in the center tower and 4 around it. 1 less than the tower on 4. Think of them as arms. The third figure had 3 in the tower and then 2 4 times around it. So when you built the fourth one, you had a tower of 4 and 3, 3, 3, and 3 in the 4 arms. And what you came up with was in the nth tower, it would be n towers tall, in the nth figure rather, it would be n towers, n cubes in the tower, and then 4 groups of 1 less than that number. So you added your n's and we got 5n minus 4. And then we tested it on the numbers and it worked. And then you built some of your own, and you guys found this right away. The first cube is the first figure is 1 by 1, the second figure is 2 by 2, the third figure is 4 by 4, and the fourth is 4 by 4, which is 4 squared. So the nth figure would be n times n, or n squared. And then you looked at this shape. First figure has 1 tower with 0 on the sides. Second figure has a tower of 2 with 1 on the side. Third figure has a tower of 3 with 2 on the sides. The fourth figure would have a tower of 4 with 3 on the sides. And the nth figure, well actually the fifth figure would be a tower of 5 with 4 and 4. The 10th figure a tower of 10 with 9 and 9. The nth figure a tower of n with n minus 1 on the right and n minus 1 on the left. And if we add those n's, we get 3n minus 2. And then you looked at this figure, which is 1 by 2 for the first. The second is 2 by 3. The third was 3 by 4. The fourth would be 4 by 5. The 10th would be 10 by 11. The nth would be n by n plus 1. And when you multiply n times n, you get n squared plus 1 times n, which is n. And then we actually saw this, n squared plus n. In the third one, we have 3 squared here plus 3. In the second one, we have 2 squared here plus 2. In the fourth one, you had 4 squared here plus 4. So the nth one would have n times n plus n. And then we solved the problem with the bicycle to see how this relates to real life. So the problem is that you have 50 euro, you're saving 20 euro per week. We made a table, and then you extended the pattern until you could see how you could use a variable for the number of weeks. And what we found by filling out this table and saving an extra 20 euro a week is that the week number matched the number of groups of 20. The week number 4 matched the 4 times 20. The week 3 matched the 3 times 20. So the 10th week, when you just used the pattern, it was 50 euro plus 10 groups of 20. So the nth week would be 50 euro plus n times 20. N is the number of weeks. Every week you save 20 euro, added to the original 50 euro to get the total amount of money. And then we said, what if the bike costs 530 euro? How many weeks would that take? So now we had to actually solve an equation. So the first thing we did was subtract 50 from both sides to see what 20n equals. And then you guys knew to divide both sides by 20. We got 24 weeks to save the money, and then we checked it. 20 times 24 is 480, and we add the 50, and now we have enough money for the bike. And then we just talked a little bit about, make sure you identify your variable. Make sure you know that n stands for the number of weeks, and sometimes you actually use a letter that represents the meaning of the variable. So we might have used W to let it represent the number of weeks, because week starts with a W, and then it would have been 50 plus 20W for the expression to represent how much money he saved. And then just a reminder, you need to have your 4 hours and 20 topics completed by Sunday night. If you don't, I'm going to be calling your parents and having you stay after school to get caught up on that. And then here's your little bit of algebra practice for tonight. Hope you have a great weekend.